Hello, friends, and welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. There's no limit to Karen's stupidity. In our first story, she paid the price for her arrogance, and our OP helped her do it. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. Karen wants me to check an obvious older woman's ID. When I was in college, I used to work for my local movie theater. The job was amazing most of the time. You had a lot of freedom from the managers if you did your job right. On a busy night, this was the situation. I was working behind the bar. We had a system where we would sell tickets and concessions at the same registers. Most of the time, this would work just fine. But one busy Saturday night, it would take a lot of time to take ticket orders, discuss seating in the theater, and get all the food and drinks. On this evening, everything was running smoothly. It was a buddy night, but the team was well prepared and we had everything under control. I was taking an order from a longtime customer. Let's call her Linda. Linda was a nice woman, and we always had a nice chat with her. She was 25 and had a subscription at our theater. This meant she would show her picture on the app with her date of birth and a QR code. This way we could see that the person was old enough to see the movie. Linda was ordering some nachos and 2 beers. Now, I know that Linda's well above the legal drinking age, in my country 18. I'd already scanned her QR code. You'd get points for free stuff when you bought your drinks and food. I already knew her age was all right, so no reason to ask for any form of ID. So I'm here getting the order ready, and when I say the total to Linda, a lady behind her, let's call her Karen for obvious reasons, starts yelling. Karen, you didn't check her ID. Linda looks over her shoulder, probably wondering why this woman is meddling, and turns back to me. Do you really need to see my ID? I could grab it if you want me to. So I'm here thinking, Karen should STF you and mind her own business. Me. No need, Linda. I know you're older than 18 and it also says so on the app. Karen. No, you need to check it. You need to check everyone that buys alcohol. Me. Miss, I already verified her age and... No! Only a legal ID or passport is good to verify age. Sure, this is the case in a normal situation, but when a customer has a subscription at our theater, they already have to verify their age and name with a legal ID, so we accept the app as a legal form of verification. At this point, I'm already losing my patience. Why is Karen meddling in this situation when Linda is clearly over the age of 18? Me. Miss, thanks for bringing this to my attention, but this woman is a loyal customer, and we already know her age because... Karen. No, this is unacceptable, and you should check her ID. I'm really starting to get annoyed, and Linda's noticing as well. Luckily, Linda is a chill woman and smiles at me while grabbing her ID. Linda. Here it is. All good, right? Me. Sorry for this, and thanks for showing. It's still not necessary, though. Linda. No problem at all, and good luck with her, she says while smiling and giving me a wink. I finalize the purchase and get ready to enjoy serving Karen. Karen has a major attitude and the order takes ages. She doesn't like the seats and changes them a couple of times. She also demands a student discount, which we don't have on Saturdays, and she's clearly older. Finally, she orders her food, and last but not least, she orders a red wine. This triggers me instantly. I'm standing there with a big smile on my face like a kid in a candy store. You all see where this is going. I grab the wine and put it on the counter. Then I say in my most polite voice, "Can I see your ID, miss?" Karen, "Excuse me?" Me, "Well, miss, as you pointed out to me, I should check everyone for ID." "Well, I'm obviously older than 18. Sure, Karen wasn't looking anywhere near 18, but she didn't hit prime Karen age either. I'd say she was early 30s. But with all that plaster on her face, she could pass for a 25-year-old. Me, "Miss, the woman I asked before you was well over the age of 18. You insisted I follow the rules. If you don't have your ID with you, I can't sell you the alcohol." "Preposterous! I demand to speak to the manager." "Sure, I'll get him." Now, the manager this evening was Bob. Bob hated types like Karen, and I knew he would stand by my side, so I go grab Bob and inform him the whole situation. While I explained it all, Bob smiled at me with a huge grin on his face. "Bob, let's go have some fun." So Bob walks with me to the registers, and Karen yelled the whole story. Bob listens carefully, then reminds her of the rules, and she needs to have some ID or she won't get her wine. Karen's done with the situation. I could clearly tell. The preview's already started, so she grabs her wallet and pulls out a public transportation card. Here you go. It states I'm old enough. Bob, sorry, miss, this isn't a form of legal ID. Karen at this point is bright red, and I thought she'd burst out in anger. I demand you sell me this wine. This is ridiculous, and I'm about to miss the movie. Nothing I can do for you without the ID, miss. I should also note that when the previews are over, usually after 15 minutes after the starting time, we can't let you go inside the theater because this will cause a disturbance for the other visitors. At this point, I wish I could have taken a picture of Karen's face. The utter face of defeat was amazing to see. Karen, fine, just keep the wine. I'm going to see the movie and then I'm never coming back here. Bob, that's a shame, miss. That'll be XXX, please. After the whole incident, I got a compliment from Bob for sticking to the rules and for defeating a Karen in her own game. I'm never coming back. Don't threaten me with good news. And our second story. Loopholes in dress code, fun times. Many moons ago, I was working at a dog kennel/resort, which essentially had me spraying out and scrubbing kennels, play yards, etc. I never really had interactions with clients. My job was to play with the cleanup after pups, a messy job, but I loved it. My manager at the time was one of those schmoozy, arrogant types that never got his hands dirty and cared about the profits. He literally had no idea about the dogs. He got transferred from corporate, which happened to be the next building over. Manager, so what if that dog just ate? The owner's paid for 5 playtimes. Get Fluffer out now. Me, he just ate, he could bloat. I'm not doing that. Cue me getting written up for insubordination. For those who don't know, bloat/GDV is a very serious complication in canines in which the stomach twists and distends, and it can be very fatal. Okay, now it's personal. Don't put animals in danger because there's not enough staff to take out 200 plus dogs 5 times each. Obviously, we butted heads, a lot. He openly expressed his desire for me to quit and took every opportunity to write me up for the stupidest things. I used to wear Croc-type shoes. I know, but with my feet getting soaked all day and potentially peed on by dogs, I needed something easy to clean and quick to dry. Alas, these aren't the closed-toe shoes, although I'd be wearing them with no problem from anyone for almost a year at this point. Another write-up for me. And whilst in search for shoes with the above qualities, I took a peek at our employee handbook. It required only a closed-toe rubber sole with tread. I got Vibram 5 fingers. Each toe is individually closed. I got the water sport type, so they were also slip resistant, in case that came up. That got his goat, man. He called his manager at corporate next door to come look at my shoes, and wouldn't you know, they were technically in compliance. So I took to reading the rest of the handbook. Oh, hell yes, it's full of loopholes. I put hot pink streaks in my hair. Handbook stated hair couldn't be any color of the rainbow. Pink is not in the rainbow. We were required to carry an obtuse amount of crap on us at all times. Many leashes, flea comb, thermometer, pen, dry erase marker, Sharpie, treats, etc. No one really carried it all. Just what we needed right then or on that shift. I must have looked like I robbed a PetSmart with all of it loaded on. We were only allowed to wear shorts if the temp reached over 90 degrees Fahrenheit, but no specification on color. Our normal work pants had to be khaki. I took this to mean I could wear the loudest surfing shorts I could find, like bright orange with neon green triangles. It was insanely funny to me. It seemed like every time I did something, his boss would be there with a group of cronies. I heard multiple times about him getting berated for the employee he couldn't control, but through all this, I did my job and did it well. I eventually quit because I received a better job working as a veterinary assistant at a clinic. I still have friends at the dog kennel. They say the new manager's great. I hear they revised the employee handbook. That was a great read. Thanks. The any color in the rainbow rule is stupid, because any color you can see is represented in the rainbow. In fact, there are colors we can't see in the rainbow. like infrared and ultraviolet. And our last story. His car is too low class for our middle class neighborhood. Every few weekends, my manager comes over to my house to help work on a side project for the company. When he comes over, he parks in front of my house. The house across from mine just happens to be one of the worst Karens I've ever met HOA volunteers. She tends to take her job a bit too seriously. Anyway, she complains to my wife and I every time she sees the car like clockwork. She'll either call or wait until she sees us outside. The first time, she even took it upon herself to write a letter about how it's better for everyone if we can keep up a certain image in the neighborhood. I explained to her that he's my manager after the letter about a year ago. She accused me of lying since I drive a nice truck and have a nice house, so she knows I bring in a decent salary. She assumed that my manager made more, therefore he needs to own a nice car. I then explained that my manager makes $250K per year and drives a beater because he doesn't care about his image. She then goes on some rant about how she goes into massive debt to keep up the right image for the neighborhood and that it's ignorant of my manager to save his money and buy a beater when people like her are paycheck to paycheck to keep up with the Jones. Lucky for me, I can't get fined, but I still find it quite annoying that she's worried about the cars that my guests drive. I told my manager about her constant complaining every time he's over. He joked that he'll spray paint his car with chalk next time he comes over, just to make it look as trashy as possible. I told him to dress in his worst clothes as well and slowly get out of the car to make sure she notices. People who actually have money don't usually feel the need to make sure everyone knows they have it. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.